everyone, welcome to another episode of Watch Casual Gaming. So in this video, I'll talk about a farming guide for starters. So this is not like the pros farming, but basically this is a guide for you guys out there who just started Black Desert and would like to know about or more about farming. So what's the first thing that you need to do in farming? So for you to have a garden in this game, you have to borrow a fence from some NPC. Normally, the NPC in the farm node or the node NPC in the farm area or farm node, they're the one who can let you rent the fences. Okay, so just like here in Calpheon, I normally get my fence from this node right here in Northern Wheat Plantation. The node NPC there can let you borrow or rent a fence. Also in Heidel, here in Moretti Plantation, that's where I also borrow um, farm fence. But some of the NPC can be located in some major cities, just like in Heidel. There's an NPC there where you can borrow a big fence or a large fence where you can set up as your farm. So let's borrow a fence. So in here, all you have to do is you just have to go to the node NPC of the farm area. So in this location here, this NPC right here will allow you to borrow the fence as long as you have the right amount of contribution points, because it's going to be the contribution points you'll be using to borrow those fences. So just speak to this NPC. As you can see right here, it will allow you to rent a plain fence. So by the way, a plain fence, depending on what type of fence, so there are like three types of fence in this game. There's a small fence, which is it only have 4 slots. I mean, say you can only plant 4 crops at a time, but that will only cost you about 3 contribution points. For the plain fence, it will cost you 6 contribution points, but this will allow you to plant a maximum of 7 crops. Because it has 7 slots. And the last one is the strong fence, which will cost you 10 CP, and that will allow you to plant 10 crops at a time. Alright, so let's borrow this one right here. So let's click on confirm and just continue the conversation. And here you go. So now you got the plain fence. So the next step that you will do is you have to look for a spot where you can set up your fence as your garden. So as for me, I normally set up my spot here near Calpheon in this area right here. It's because it's much closer to the town storage we're in. After I gather or harvest my crop, I can just go ahead and walk from my garden into the storage so that my cooking character can just pick it up inside my house. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go back to Calpheon. Alright, so now we're back in Calpheon. For us to set up our fence, we need to be in a combat zone. We cannot set up our fence or our garden inside a safe zone. So if you will try to set it up in a safe zone, it will tell you that you cannot install in safe zone. So you have to go far away from the town until it will tell you that you are already in a combat zone. So just like here, it will say you have entered a combat zone. So that's a place where you can set up your fence. But you are not allowed to set up a fence in the middle of the road. So you have to look for a location wherein it is a combat zone, at the same time it is not in the middle of the road. So as I just mentioned earlier, I usually set up my farm here because it's closer to the town storage. To set up your farm, just go to the area where you want to set it up. Just right click on the fence itself, and you would see there some grids. So they're like red area, meaning to say you cannot set up your fence there. But the blue area, it's somewhere you can put in your um, fence. To put in your fence, just click on the area, then click on the confirm or the down arrow, and that should deploy your fence. Alright, and there you have it. You got now your fence. So you can interact with your fence by clicking on the R once this icon right here show up. So by clicking on R, this will show you your inventory or the items that you can put it into your farm. And from here, it will show the maximum of plant you can put in inside your garden. Alright, so the next step is for you to get the seed that you need. So normally seeds are being sold in a seed NPC. The seed NPC will sell you just the low quality of seeds, but if you need a better quality of seeds, people tend to just sell their high quality seeds in the marketplace. But if you have the patience, you can actually breed your own high quality seeds, which I will talk about later. So let's go to the seed NPC. So for you to find one, so just click on this find NPC icon right here and just type in the word seed and search, and wherever you are located, just like me in Calpheon, there is R. So you can click on R, seed vendor, and that will give me this auto path right here. Then I can go to R, and let's see if what kind of seeds she has. Okay. Alright, so once you are in the seed vendor, so just interact with the vendor and go to the shop, and here it will show you if what are the types of seed or she has. So right here I got a pepper, onion, but in my case I usually plant or farm wheat seed or wheat. So I need to buy the weathered wheat seed. So this is a low quality. So if you have better quality, we're just gonna say high grade or high quality or just wheat seed, not weathered wheat seed. So just buy it. Since your farm or your garden will have a maximum of 7 slot, so you can buy 7 of them. So once you have the seed that you want, you can now go back to your garden. Okay, so we're back in our garden, so let's plant our seed. Again, to plant, you just have to get inside your fence and then just click on R, and this should show you this menu right here, and your seeds will be at the bottom tray. So just click on the seed and then put it into the available tile, press space, okay, and space. So as you notice, it says I already have 2 out of 7 slots. So again, until we have all the seeds planted. Alright, so there you have it. So we have planted now our seed. So we just have to wait for it to grow. So if you'll notice, you will have an icon, a garden icon at the upper left side of your screen. So just click on it, and that will show you the status of your seed, if how many percent um, it is already growing. So since we just planted this wheat right here, it shows 0%. Okay. You could also check where your garden is by opening up the map, and you will see this kind of icon right here, and that will show you the status of your seed or where your garden is located. To find your garden, you can also click again on this garden icon, and then there is a location button or icon right here which you can click, and that will point you to where that um, uh, garden is. Okay, so that's it for planting the seed, but now let's talk about how should we take care of our garden. So if we come closer to our plant, just like this one, you can see there that there is an option for you to view crop information. So let's open that up. Okay, so if you can see right here, there are a few sliders that you can see. So we got the temperature, we got the humidity, you got the water, fertilizer, and we have growth, health, and moisture. Okay, so let's talk about them one by one. So first here, the temperature would actually tell you if um, what is the suitable temperature of your crop. So the yellow um, arrow here will tell you the status of your crop or where your crop is on the slider. But the one at the top is something that you can actually slide and check if the value or the percentage of the growth will change. So if you slide down, it means that the growth is only 1.20%. If it's cold, if it's just right here, it says it's 1.80%. But if you're gonna go hotter place or a hot place, and that will just gonna let your plant grow 1.56% every interval. So so far your plant is right here, so that means that it is on the optimum amount or optimum temperature where it can grow best. Okay, so sliding this one right here doesn't mean that it will actually decrease or increase your plant. It is just a guide for you to know if which temperature your plant can grow best. So humidity, it says right here, it actually varies in every region. So whatever is the percentage, that's like the chances of your plant to um, uh, will be affected by the blight or your plant will be damaged. So right now we are at 1%. This is where you at. But if you will slide it there, if you are on a more humid location, then the chances of your plant to be damaged is 7%. So that means that at 1% we are in a good location. And here is the water. It's a groundwater. So you can actually um, fill this up. Okay, so later we'll talk about how we can fill it up. So water will what? Of course, water will make your plants grow. And fertilizer will speed up the growth of your crop. And this is the current estimated time of how long your crop will be fully grown. And we have a growth, so we are not 1% health. If your plant drops below 50% or it has a low health, then it will stop growing. And moisture, then the moisture, make sure it's above 75% for it to grow properly. So if you, as you can see right here, it says protects from bird. This is actually a scarecrow. So from time to time your farm will be attacked by some birds, just like in real life. And if you install a scarecrow, and that will lessen the chance of having them being attacked. And right here, there's adjust water absorption rate. So this one right here, you can install an irrigation system so that it will not consume the groundwater quickly, but then installing irrigation system and installing the scarecrow would actually eat up the slot of your garden. So I would suggest doing this if you have like the 10 slots um, farm or garden, because it's you would have lesser space where you can plant your actual seed. Okay, so we'll talk about the scarecrow and the irrigation system later. While taking care of your crop, you should also be aware that your plants will be prone to some abnormalities. It could be that they need pruning, or it could be that they're being attacked by pests. So if they are attacked by pests, just like this one right here, if you check the status of your plant, it says that you got this icon right here. That means it needs pruning. And this one right here means that you need to remove the pest or the insects. So if they have this abnormal status, that would mean that um, the growth of your plant will be halted, or it will be 50% slower compared to the rest of the plant. You can also check in your map if it's it has a red icon instead of having to this dark blue icon. That means that they need to be attended to. So you can either come close to the plant and manually prune them or remove the pest from them, or you can assign a worker to do the job for you. So you can just click on your garden icon, and on the list icon here or button right here, you can assign if you have an available worker in that area. So just click on start work, and that should make your farmer or worker to go into this garden, just like this two right here, and they will be the one working on your garden. So they will not harvest it, but they will prevent from the pest, and they will help pruning your garden. Alright, so let's go back again to the information of your plant. So the water should be at least always full, and fertilizer, it's much better if you can make this full as well. So how can you do that? So you can actually fill in the water by pouring purified water or distilled water, and you can get this by collecting water from the river, and then if you collected the water from the river, you can just filter it so that it will become purified water. Okay, let's do that. Okay, for us to create or get purified water, first what you need to do is to look for a material vendor in each town, just like this one right here. Then you have to buy an empty bottle. So you can buy as many as you want. So for this video, I'm just gonna buy 5 of them. So once you have the empty bottle, so all you have to do is go to the nearest river or any body of water where you can collect water. So here in Calphion, you can just go in this river right here, and all you have to do is to right click on the empty bottle, and you can start gathering. So by the way, gathering will consume your energy. So make sure to be conscious of your energy. Alright, so we're done collecting water. So right now we have a bottle of river water. So for us to make this a purified water or a distilled water, we have to process this. So by processing, you can just click on L. Then it's either you can filter or you can heat. So if you're gonna heat it, it will turn into a distilled water. So let's heat one. Let's see what we'll get. Okay, so I got from heating one bottle of river water, I got this 2 distilled water. So what if I'll try filtering? So let's see what we'll get. Okay, so I got purified water. Okay, you can just collect as many as river water and make them a purified water or distilled water, because you're not gonna use them only for farming, but you can also use them for cooking and other crafting. Okay, so we're done. Alright, so now that you have the purified water, so let's see. So right now the water level is only at 0.73%. So if I pour uh, purified water on it, just right click on it, then now it goes halfway. Let's pour it again. Okay, it's almost full. So there's about 5 seconds cooldown. Alright, and there you have it. So I got the bar now is full. So that should be good to go. So aside from the water, we can, if you notice, our fertilizer, it's not full, or it's empty. So we need to put in a fertilizer so that we can grow our plant much faster. So how to create a fertilizer? So let's create a fertilizer. Okay, so let's create a fertilizer. So let's check F2 if what are needed in creating a fertilizer. So let's type in fertilizer. Search. Okay, so we have three types of fertilizer. We got byproduct fertilizer, which you can gain from shaking a leavening agent, and inorganic fertilizer. We have inorganic fertilizer by drying barley or drying um, your potato or your corn or your wheat. So this can be inorganic fertilizer can be obtained from drying your crop. And the organic fertilizer is by shaking a distilled water or a purified water together with your byproduct fertilizer. So meaning to say, before we can get organic fertilizer, we need to get first inorganic fertilizer from your crop, then get byproduct by combining or shaking the leavening agent and the inorganic fertilizer. And once you have the byproduct fertilizer, you can shake it again with your purified water and the byproduct fertilizer. So let's do that. So in here, I got wheat. So just press L for the processing menu. So it says I need to dry it. So click on dry, put your wheat or potato or corn, and just wait for it to finish. Okay, and there you have it. We got now an inorganic fertilizer. So inorganic fertilizer is already good enough, but we want to get the highest quality of fertilizer so that every time we put in a fertilizer, it will fill up the fertilizer bar much faster compared to just using a low quality of fertilizer. So from inorganic fertilizer, we want to make a byproduct fertilizer. So again, how to get a byproduct fertilizer? So byproduct fertilizer can be obtained by shaking a leavening agent and the inorganic fertilizer. So let me just get a leavening agent from my storage. So I have here, so let's get 10. Alright, so now I have the inorganic fertilizer and a leavening agent. So press L, say shake, put the two, and start it. Alright, so we got now our byproduct um, fertilizer. So from the byproduct fertilizer, we want to make this as an organic fertilizer. So we already have purified water from the water that we've collected from the river. So let's go processing and let's go shaking. So byproduct and the purified water. Okay, finally we got the organic fertilizer. So let's use the organic fertilizer. Let's see what will happen. So here I got just about 0 of the fertilizer. So let me put in an organic fertilizer. Alright, it's almost full by the way. So as you notice, a while ago it was 4 hours. Now it actually went down to 3 hours waiting time for the plant to grow. So that's it, and how you can put water and fertilizer into your farm. So if you want to put in an irrigation system or a scarecrow, you can actually um, manufacture this. To create one, all you have to do is to first go to any city and look for a house which you can turn into a carpentry workshop. So once you selected that, select carpentry, and that will allow you to create a scarecrow and the irrigation system. So the scarecrow, once you purchase that, just make sure that you have an available worker to make them. Just make sure you have 10 log and 1 black stone powder. For the irrigation system, it requires 2 logs, 1 black stone powder, and bottle of river water 8. So how we can get the bottle of river water? Again, by collecting water from the river. For the log, you can just chop or get it from the trees around you. All right, for example, this one right here. Just make sure that you have a lumbering axe. A lumbering axe, you can buy it from the same place where where we bought our empty bottles, which is the material vendor. Okay, you can also buy lumbering axe with higher quality because this one only got 30 durability, but it's also already good enough for you to use it because higher quality of lumbering axe, just like what you can find in the marketplace. For example, steel, it has 130 durability, but it would require you to become a beginner 10 gatherer. So a starter, you can just use the lumbering axe that you can buy or from the material NPC. So to get a log, to just gather it from any trees close to you, and there you have it. You got a log, so just collect as much as you need. Alright, so the next one is how you can get the blackstone powder. Okay, blackstone powder, you can get that by grinding any magic crystal. So just buy from the marketplace the lowest price of a magic crystal. So just like right here, magic crystal, just sort by price and just buy the cheapest one. So any magic crystal will do. So just open up your processing menu and then go for grinding and put in your magic crystal, then just click on start. Okay, so there you have it. By grinding one magic crystal, I got 4 blackstone powder already. Okay, so once you have enough material, just go to the house that you bought, a carpentry. Alright, so it only requires level 1 carpentry. Then just click on manage crafting. Just select the item that you want there, and then once, if you already have the correct amount of materials, so you can just make sure you have an available worker with you, and then you can just start working. And it normally takes about 22 minutes for it to complete. So once you have that, you can just collect that from your storage. By the way, the material that is needed or that are needed needs to be inside your town storage where the house is located. So in Calphion, I bought a workshop in Calphion, so it needs to be in the storage in Calphion. And once it's done, I can just collect it from there as well. So here it is, irrigation system. Alright, so once you have it, so you can go ahead and go back to your garden and install it. Again, this will consume one slot of your garden, so it is advisable to have this if you have a big garden, like at least about 10 um, slots garden. So just click on it and then just put it anywhere. So I would like to put the irrigation system rather than the scarecrow because I haven't really experienced any situation wherein there are like birds attacking my plants. But the irrigation system is very important because it consumes the groundwater or the water that I poured into the soil right away if I don't have this. Alright, so there you have it. I got now the irrigation system. And let me view my plant again. So my plant is doing good. Water, enough water. Fertilizer, enough fertilizer. Good health. Moisture is okay. So we'll just have to wait for it until it will be fully grown before we can harvest it. Alright, so after a few hours, so our plant has fully grown. So you can check all the status of your plants again right here in this menu. So this one right here is already 100%. So that is already good for harvesting. So first is you can always check the status of your plant by clicking on the view crop information, which is F6 this time. So again, moisture is still good. The health is good. growth is 100%. So the growth of your plant will not stop at 100%. Actually, it could grow up to 200%. But according to most of the people that I talk to, it's better to harvest your plant within 100% and 119%. Beyond 119, so meaning to say 120 or more percent, the yield of your plant or your harvest will be lower. So it's better if you check your plant from time to time. So you don't really have to worry if you are offline because your plant will just grow when you are online. So once you go offline, their growth will stop. So I know it's not a good thing, but at least you can always check the status of your plant from time to time, right? Especially if you're not going to install a scarecrow or if you don't have worker to remove the pest or prune the plants. So let's start. So right now you can actually do two things here. First is you can harvest the plant to get the crop that you need, or you can press F5, which can where which will allow you to breed the plant. Meaning to say, instead of harvesting the crop, you can get the seed out from it so that you can plant it. So I will show you different videos. What's the benefit of breeding your plant? So as I've mentioned earlier, is that as a starter, you can always buy your seed from the seed NPC. But if you will breed your plant from the low quality of seed, you can actually get a better quality of seed. So they're like four qualities of seed. So first is the low quality seed. The next one is just a normal quality seed. The third one is the high quality of seed, and the last and the fourth one is the special quality of seed. So let's start. Let's for you to harvest your plant, just click on R, and your character will start harvesting it. And there you have it. I got 73 wheat. So again, I mentioned that it's much better for you to farm your own crop rather than relying on the workers, because you can actually produce more compared to just waiting and waiting for your worker to gather them for you. So I just leveled up from farming. Okay, so this one right here, let's try to do plant breeding. All right, press F5. Okay, as you can see, I got two wheat seeds, so I can use them and plant them later. All right, and I'll show you what are the other quality that you can get from breeding your plant. So by breeding a withered seed or low quality of seed, you'll get a chance to get a normal quality of seed. And from breeding a normal quality of seed, there's also a chance for you to get a high quality of crop seed. And lastly, from breeding a high quality of crop seed, there is a chance for you to get a special quality of seed. Okay, and those are the different variety or different quality of seeds that you can get out from breeding your plant. Okay, so I guess that's about it. So aside from the crop that you can harvest from farming or gardening, there are other few things that you can get from farming or gathering. So just like in here, I have here this unusual fruit. So if you have 5 of them, you can exchange them with byproduct fertilizer, right? Just right click on it and click on NPC location, and that will point you where you can have an exchange. Aside from that, you got this plant with rotting roots, which you can exchange for 3,000 silver if you have um, 5 of them. And another one, we have this seed half eaten by bird, and if you have 5 of this, you can exchange this for gathering experience. And premature fruit, which you can exchange with high quality pepper. We have mutant plant, which you can exchange again for a contribution experience, which is very important in this game. And lastly, a twig, which you can just sell it into the NPCs. Okay, so again, those are the basics of farming or planting in Black Desert. So if you have more questions, just leave a comment down below. And again, thanks for um, watching my video. If you like it, please do press like. And if you are interested with my videos, you can always subscribe so that you'll get notified for new videos or that I'll be uploading. So again, thank you guys, and thanks for watching Watch Casual Gaming. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.